Hi everyone, Dredgen here, and today we'll be taking a look at the glorious Panda switches from Glorious PC Gaming Race. Full disclosure, they did send these switches out to me to review, but they gave me free reign to review it as I want. There was a lot of drama leading up to the release of these switches, but I am not planning to discuss that here as there is quite a lot to cover. In this review, we'll cover pricing, switch feel, and an extensive sound test. I know this review is coming out a bit late, so I wanted to give something here that some may not have covered, and that is testing the switch in multiple configurations. If you just want the extensive sound test, that will be towards the end of the video. Timestamps will be on the description. So to start off, pricing and availability. The Glorious Panda is expected to be available around late September to early October and comes in packs of 36 pieces priced at $25 each. A bit unconventional since most Switch manufacturers sell in packs of 10, and I would have preferred it that way. That brings the pricing of the Switch at around 70 cents per Switch, which is still quite a lot if you're new to the mechanical keyboard scene. However, for those who are more experienced, you would know that this is still in mid-range category. Switches like the Xylence or Drops Holy Pandas can go upwards of $1.20 or more. I think the biggest win here is that Glorious is planning to mass produce these switches all year round and have it available in 100 plus countries. Now, this is really good for the consumer because of two reasons. One, if you have ever tried to look for in-demand switches like the Alpacas, Tangerines, or the Kiwis, they are always sold out. They may be priced at $6.50, but due to the low supply, a lot of us end up buying it in the aftermarket where it can be priced anywhere from 50% higher and sometimes even double the original price. So having a good quality switch that is always available is something that I hope gains more traction in the community. Second, having it available in more countries is a big help as shipping is really expensive, especially with the pandemic. Sometimes buying 60 pieces of a Switch is not even economical since shipping can cost almost half of what you pay for the Switch. Now, going to the Switch. According to Glorious, the stem is made of palm, top housing is made of polycarbonate, and the bottom housing is made up of nylon. The bump starts immediately at the top without any pre-travel. The bump is quite strong, but not as strong as you would have on the Xylence, but definitely stronger than what you would have on your Cherry or Gateron Browns. There is a lot of spring noise out of the box, and in my opinion, this need to be lubed for you to get the best typing experience. I would have wanted to compare this with Drops Holy Panda, but that was delayed for another month. So is my order for the GMK Red Samurai, so unfortunately I can't test it with that. There is a bit of stem wobble, especially if you compare it with the Xylence, but it's not as bad as you would see on lower end switches. What surprised me was the absence of top housing wobble on most of the switches. Not on all, but I'd say on 80 to 90% of the ones I tested, there was no housing wobble. On those that did have it, it was very minimal. I was actually planning on using some films for this, but I ended up not using it since I didn't think there was any need for it. Unfortunately, these switches have minimal interference with north-facing cherry profile switches. This will only affect a very small group, but this happens when a thick cherry profile keycap like the GMK or this Enjoy PBT ABS keycap is combined with a keyboard that has north-facing LEDs, or simply put, the LEDs are at the top side of the board. This combination results in an issue where the keycap hits the top housing before you bottom out, resulting in the key press feeling and sounding a bit off. It's very minimal though, and you can still use it, but some keys may not sound as good. This issue only affects cherry profile keycaps, and most switches actually have this, but I felt it was still worth mentioning. Hopefully this gets fixed since based on what I saw, Drops Holy Pandas do not have this interference. Quick note, for RGB lovers, there is space on the bottom to allow LED light to pass through, and it allows for a lot of light to pass, but it's still not as good as you would have on a clear top switch. So in summary, before we go to the sound test, I really like what I'm seeing here from Glorious. If they are able to keep the switches in stock and widely available, then it will be a step in the right direction. And I do hope that other companies will follow suit. These are good tactile switches at a fair price, and I do recommend these. This will be going on my main keyboard and will be my daily driver. Non-affiliate links will be on the description. I included one sound test for the unlubed Glorious Pandas, and the rest will be lubed, as I imagine most people buying this will end up lubing it. That is it for this video, and I hope I had helped you in deciding whether this is the switch for you. Here are the sound tests.